Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Del Prince. I'm going to show you some ideas now of working with concrete to build floral design mechanics. A lot of florists might wonder, what in the world do you need to do with concrete to make a mechanic work? But concrete gives us stability and weight to build large-scale floral designs that are great for church altars as well as buffet arrangements. So let's take a look at some examples. This first one shows a basic 1.5 to 2 inch PVC pipe that has been concreted down into a plastic container. What I used in this container to make it work are pieces of styrofoam along with the concrete that has been poured down inside the bucket. Tape held it in place while the concrete dried and cured. All I would need to do at this stage of the game is remove the tape and then decorate the design. We would very simply add various things like mosses or paint to cover up the container itself, and then we can drop a floral design mechanic such as a bridal bouquet holder on top of the PVC pipe. This is good and sturdy. It can be used outdoors or inside and is wonderful for a way to mark aisles in a church, whether we wanted to mark the aisles inside the church or for an outdoor wedding in a garden or on the beach side. It's also possible to make the same design with a smaller sized container and to drop it into a more decorative container. So if you have something else that you want to use to dress up the formality of the floral design, it can be done similarly. Again, these are great for on top of an altar, or they could be used on a table and we could increase the scale. It's also quite possible to make very large-scale floral designs using concrete. And this example shows us what we saw earlier with the baptistry board, except it is not used on the horizontal but on the vertical. So we took our piece of board and we mounted it into the container using scraps of styrofoam and then pouring concrete on the top. A very important and different aspect with this, though, is that we have to have physical separation of the bricks of floral foam, because if we don't, the water will wick. And let me show you what I'm talking about. With this segment, I have a brick of fresh floral foam, and I'm going to add some of the plastic to this. This plastic provides an impermeable layer, because if I added this brick to the next layer, what would happen is the further up I moved with the floral design mechanic, the drier the bricks would become very, very quickly. That water would then saturate the lower bricks, but leave the upper bricks very dry. So if I put a piece of plastic around it or underneath it, it's going to separate those layers. Then the next step is to take and add some of the waterproof tape in 2 bands. Now this floral design mechanic is a good one to keep in mind because you can use this on church altars to make very large scale floral arrangements with a minimum cost. We've also used these in front of churches to create a more commanding entryway, and you could also take and add arches of foliage from the top bricks so that they become fountain-like, or even arches to create an effect where a bride and groom could get married underneath them. Of course, for the container, we could spray paint this an innocuous color like black or brown or camo. We can wrap it with fabric. We could cover it with moss. Many different things that could be done. And we could drop a potted plant in front of it to help to hide it even more and build a floral arch, or, like we're doing in this series, a gorgeous pair of arrangements for a church altar or a very large buffet for an event space. So with this segment, you see it's important for florists to be able to use concrete to create props for altar arrangements, special events, buffet designs.